Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you can hear me. I'm not using a microphone right now. Brenda's inside using it for one of her videos. So I'll try speaking up, make sure you can hear me. Sometimes we get background noise here and whatnot, but just wanted to give you a quick update. Today's, I think, December 3rd. Hope you all had a very nice Thanksgiving weekend holiday. I know we did with our family and our kids and grandkids. And so we're back at it now. Winter set in pretty quick and fast here on the homestead, and things are starting to freeze up pretty good. We got about 6 or so 7 inches of snow last couple days, and we seem to be a little bit here in the snow belt, or I think we checked once, we were like 1,000 feet above sea level, so we're definitely a little higher than we used to be down in the southern part of the state. But Brenda's been trying to keep you updated on our progress with the well here, and we're kind of stuck at the moment, but I'm working on some ideas on maybe how I can draw some water out of there to use. Won't be a permanent situation, but as usual, I'll try and figure something out that'll kind of get us, buy us a little time until the weather breaks a little bit. Maybe we can finish burying that line. I think Brenda told you in a recent video that we had a little problem with the water line that we were unrolling. It got kinked, and well, I did some more research and found out that there's probably a better product for that. So I picked some up, and we're going to be doing that as soon as we can. I discovered this morning by moving a little bit of snow that the ground's not totally frozen yet. The top layer is, and it certainly won't be long now because we're going to be getting into some single digits by the end of this week. So it's looking pretty good, but we'll see what we can do, and we'll see if we can manage something. Today's a big day, another big day on the homestead, because we've got another container coming in. It's going to be sitting right over here, and this is going to end up serving as our electrical room or powerhouse, whatever, because the other item we have coming in today is our solar system, our long-term permanent solar system. And although that won't be getting set up for a little bit, it's going to take some time to get that up and running. We at least will have the container here that it's going to be going in, setting up. We're going to be making a little utility room in there. That's where the water pump's going to go for the well. That's the closest location for now until we get the building, the barn up here, probably next year. So hopefully with the container getting here today and the solar system getting here, that's another major step and another big piece of the puzzle here for the homestead. Once we can get the power ironed out, then it'll certainly be nice to not have to deal with that going forward. Right now we are using a Blue Eddy, and it's working out. It was quite a learning curve to get it going, and I'm still kind of working out, ironing the bugs, trying to understand. But I'm getting a real good idea now that I'm seeing how much power we're using on a daily use, and what we're averaging, what our peaks and our lows are, and what each utility, I guess you'd say, online is using. So kind of gives me a good idea of how much we're using and how much we need. And of course the idea is to never have to use a generator backup, to be able hopefully to do it so completely off of solar. So, and that's pretty much a quick update here. We'll try to do a little video of the container coming in and the solar system, and at least I have a place to put the solar system. And from there, basically, I've got some other cold weather issues to deal with. Got a little drainage issue we're dealing with right now. We have you might have seen a porta potty that we're using, but for the gray water, we just kind of let it go out on the ground. But in this cold weather, it backed up a little with the frozen pipe, and so I tucked it up underneath the camper. I'm going to go put some heat under there with a new heater that we picked up. I haven't had a chance to use it. I've had it sitting around now for a couple of weeks, called a diesel heater. I think it's an 8,000 BTU, and looking forward to getting this going. It's a hot air furnace, I guess you'd call it, and I'm out in the container just picking up a few tools I need to put the clamps on and get it together. So I'll do a little, I'll take you along for that, show you how I'm putting that together, and I want to get it set up and try to blow some hot air underneath the camper so that I can maybe thaw out that drain line that I was just talking about. Let me grab some tools and we'll take you back inside and we'll show you what we're working on. Well, the container just got here a little bit ago, and we got that pretty much in place. He did a real good job getting as close as he could to where I wanted it. And it doesn't give us a whole lot of room in there, but basically I'm just gonna see if I can't scoot this over a little bit more. But other than that, pretty happy with that. We got that in place, and now we'll have a location for some of our mechanical stuff and some things we need to get out of the weather and keep warm and whatnot. So now we're waiting for the we're waiting for the solar system to get here. Won't be here in a few more hours. So I'm going to go ahead inside and finish my little project with the heater and see if I can't get that going. And we'll see if we can blow a little bit of heat underneath the camper here. All right, so here's the diesel heater that we purchased. I did quite a bit of research and did some looking around to find out a little bit what I could about these things. And it's a kind of a newer technology. They've been around for a while as far as using for preheating cabs and whatnot in vehicles. They've been around for a while, but over time they've evolved into what you're looking at here, which is basically a little portable heat source, blows forced hot air using diesel fuel. And from what I've seen and read, it's pretty efficient, works pretty well. I think this one's an 8,000 BTU, and which is pretty good size for a little unit that it is. And you can see here's the little, that's the actual heater and all the other components around it. There's the fuel tank right up here. And so this was the intention of using this to blow forced hot air underneath the mobile home. We've got a little bit of a, this particular home has a like a extra insulation package. So they've got like a little skirting kind of material underneath the mobile home and kind of protecting the underneath the underbelly a little bit. And it's just basically a corrugated plastic, but it gives it some protection and some insulation. My thought was I was going to try and see if we can't blow a little bit of hot air under there, and by helping keep everything thawed out underneath, or warm underneath, warmer. We've got the skirting on the mobile home, on this RV, I should say now. So if we can blow a little bit of extra heat under there, it would take a little bit of relief off of the furnace, which is right there. That's the RV furnace right here. And we've been using the little buddy here to supplement, and it's been working pretty well. We've been staying warm. It's been down to the teens. It's going to get down to single digits by the end of the week. And while I was in the process of just getting this together, there's a little assembly required. You got to put the exhaust pipe on. There's a air hose here. There's a little box of parts that came with it, and I got my tools here. So I'm just kind of slowly getting it together. It's not too complicated, and I'll definitely show you what we got when we get it done. But while I was waiting, or while I was in the process of putting this together, another heater we ordered just came in, and this one is it's a Camco heater called the catalytic heater. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the box here. I'm anxious to see, I wasn't expecting this today, so I'm anxious to see. This one's going to actually go inside and replace the little buddy heater. I'm anxious to see how this one works. Let me get this one open up and we'll see what we got. Okay, you got enough heaters going on here? All right, so what do we got going on here? We've got redundancy in heating in the middle of winter camping is what you want. So what we've got here is, of course, back over here in the corner, standard with the RV came this 35,000 BTU heater, forced hot air. It works pretty well. Not really intended for winter use. Going outside, honey?
Yes.
And so we had, as you saw in another video, we had a little issue with the other day, and we've got some parts that we replaced and ordered along the way. Ended up getting a complete new furnace for that. I've got it in the storage container right now. Came in a couple days ago or yesterday. And basically it's a complete brand new 35,000 original replacement that basically slips in. You disconnect the gas line and the ductwork and basically slide it right in, and you get yourself a brand new furnace. So that's just a backup in the event that the onboard RV furnace dies itself. We got a little issue here with Ellie and Boss. Any rate, so after that, we were using our little buddy, as I mentioned a minute ago. Problem with the propane little buddy is obviously it one puts off a lot of natural byproduct is water, humidity. So not ideal for these situations, especially in a RV where you're already kind of fighting that battle between the hot and the cold because the walls are so thin and there's not much insulation. So the other heating source that we have as a backup was, as I mentioned, the diesel heater, which we picked up. And that was primarily that's a forced hot air. And that's going to be to, as I just mentioned, blow hot air in the underbelly and keep everything underneath warm. And in my research to replace something with this one here, because I don't like burning the propane in here and whatnot, we came across these furnaces here. Now, this is my first look at it. I've never seen these before. I got to tell you, when I saw them online, they looked half this size. They didn't look this big. This is a pretty good size. And what's different about these heaters, this is called a catalytic safety heater. And they come in different wave 3, wave 6, wave 8. We got the biggest one. I think the wave 8 was 8,000 BTU, 6,000 and 3,000. And the way these work, and I'm not the expert on these, but basically the way these work is instead of burning the propane, which you're doing in these units here, you're actually burning the actual gas. In this one here, there's a chemical reaction with the blanket that's in here. I call it a blanket, it's a material. And once the propane hits this material, there's a chemical reaction that causes the heat to come off, and you don't get the byproduct of the humidity and everything else that you do with these. Now, what I like about this, looking at it for the first time here, pretty simple operation. You got a gas line there, there's your igniter, and there's your control temperature on the side over here. And it's pretty thin. It's not very thick at all. I'd say that's probably just over 3 inches or so maybe. And it comes with a template for mounting it on the wall. And these are made for RVs. They actually make these. This is the template you're going to use to mount it if you're mounting it on the wall, which now that I'm looking at it, we may mount right up here where the TV was, somewhere in this area. I'm not sure. And so I'm looking at this. It's going to be easy to install. Of course, I'll have to run a gas line, and that shouldn't be too difficult to hook up. So I'm anxious to get this thing going. I'm actually going to see what I have for a gas line hook up now. And if I have something, I'm going to get this going right now just to see if I can replace this by tonight. And then I'll get back to this heater over here. Whew, a lot of heaters going on here. So, as I was saying, yeah, we've got a lot of heaters going on. And my goal here is to make sure that when it gets down to negative below zero temperatures, we're going to be nice and toasty in here. And we're making the effort to put what we can into it. And we're going to stay warm one way or the other. Right, this is I don't know, pronounce this HCalory. It's called a diesel heater. Uses diesel fuel right in here, and they're basically they're car parking heaters. They've been around for quite a while, and over the years have just been made better and better and more portable, and they're used primarily for camping and whatnot. We're going to use it here under our camper. Right here, I'm under the nose of our fifth wheel. There's the tongue right here. And we've got the Blue Eddy right here in the little cubby up front for now. And we've got some skirting done around the home. This isn't actually the done. We were waiting for some more skirting to come in. This is kind of a temporary thing. We've got some cold temperatures coming, and I thought I'd give this a try. My plan was to see if I could blow some additional warm air underneath the RV. We do have skirting that goes all the way around. It's not completely airtight, and it's not going to be completely 100% effective as far as doing the best it could, but we figure if it helps even a little bit, it will help the furnace that comes with the RV maybe not run so much. Not sponsored or anything. I'll leave a link below. And from all the videos and research I've done, they're pretty efficient, pretty fuel efficient, pretty quiet, pretty safe. And I'll go over real quick, kind of explain what I know about them. As I said, this is the main part of the heater here, and I think there's a breakdown of a picture in it. We got the fuel right up here. Diesel fuel right now, I think we pay here in Maine. I just bought, we filled a bunch of these tubs up, these 5-gallon cans. It was like $3.69 a gallon. That's for the off-road. So you can see it's got the color in it. And that's the actual burner inside. And there's a little ticking noise that you can hear. That's from the pump pumping the fuel, and you can kind of see it going down the line. So far it's been pretty simple. I just clamped on the hoses that came with it. That's the exhaust with the muffler, and I can hear it really starting to ramp up right now. The fan's really starting to ramp up. I don't feel any warm air yet, but something's definitely happening. Over on this side you got the intake, and we've also got this little monitoring system, and it's got quite a few details and quite a few things that you can do, adjust. It comes with a remote, and it also comes with a Bluetooth app and an app so you can remote control this, I guess. I'm not real familiar with it. Obviously it's brand new, so I'm going to be trying it out. As I said, my plan right now is to, it's starting to blow warm air now, I'm going to cut a hole right in here and just start blowing the warm air underneath here, and we're going to give this thing a try. And I also brought, close this cover up, just for the fun of it. It's pretty cold today. It's I don't even know if it's above freezing. I have to check that, but I got my little digital thermostat here, thermometer, and we're just going to monitor the temperature. It's going up pretty fast. I just want to get some ideas on how hot this is going to get before I get it too close to the home here. Definitely heating up. All right, so this is working pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just cut a hole up in the panel here somewhere, and we're going to stick that hose under there, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to monitor the temperature under here, and we're going to see how it goes. That's not too bad. That's pumping some pretty good warm air in there. I tell you what, like I said, it's like a really warm, drier air. Really nice. Could benefit from the heat coming off of this too. I'm gonna mount this permanently under here. Once this all gets closed in, I'm gonna be closing this whole area under the camper. I'll show you right here under the RV. I'm gonna frame this in eventually. I've got the wood over here, I've got some over here. And we'll be making like a little cold storage area up in here where we can keep some of this stuff. That Blue Eddy will now be going in this container, and UPS just pulled in. Okay, UPS just dropped something off for Brenda. Let's see if we've got this thing. We've got this thing blowing up. Whoa! Oh, duck head. Good idea. Little headroom. We've got this thing plugged in here, and it's blowing hot air. I think it's cranking right up. I don't know what the current temperature is. I don't believe it's as hot as it can go. And I'm going to do some more research. Of course, I haven't read the manual completely. I did go through it actually a little more than I usually do more. But I can see here it's taking in some cold air, blowing out hot air. Got a fan here. That's the fan setting. And I'm not sure if there's a temperature setting or nothing. I think it's here. But at any rate, I will figure this out, get the Bluetooth app downloaded on the phone, start playing with it a little more, figure it out. And the other thing I really liked about this unit was it not only runs, I've got it plugged into the Blue Eddy right now, so we got on AC, but this is actually runs on DC also, and I do have the cable here somewhere, so I can plug this right onto the battery of the RV, and of course that's being charged by the Blue Eddy, and we're keeping that charged primarily with the generator right now until I get the panels completely set up. But at any rate, we're hoping this is a nice unit. It can stay right outside. It'll stay nice and dry underneath here. And this will hopefully blow enough hot air under here that when our gray water, of course, I'll clean this up here. Just not going to be all here, but we had a gray water tube that went down through the snow here for a little while, and of course it froze. So I can see the ice building up in there, and that's just soap, dishwater and stuff like that we are using primarily for washing, so there's nothing too bad in there. Just we're going to make a little ditch here if we can just get it to thaw out, which I think that's going to do the job. And I'm just going to go ahead and try monitoring this temperature with this here. I'm curious to know. Really not that hot. 55 right at the tip here. We got 79. Still not like I expected. Of course, back here we're gonna have 200 degrees or so. What is that? No, 140. Sorry, yeah, 130. And then going in here, 91, 100 degrees. Wow, that seems pretty hot. Yeah, it's nice and warm. Wow, I think that's gonna work pretty good. Oh, that could be a problem solver. All right, I gotta download the app and try to take advantage of all the features that it offers, like the remote and the app for all different types of things. I'll get you back and let you know, do a little better review on this, but this is great. I think this is going to be huge, especially if I can remote control it. I have a thermostat. I've got these little Therm Pros right here, and those things, I've got one in the house, and so I'm monitoring the temperature out here as well as inside, and I can add one more of these, so I'm going to add one underneath the home, and then I can monitor the air, the temperature underneath, and I will be able to turn this on remotely, and if it gets too cold, which is going to work great. So I'm pretty excited about that, and let me finish up the reading on the book here. We'll get it updated and we'll let you know how it works out.